All right, today I'm going to make a fathead dough pizza crust. And there's tons of recipes out there for fathead dough. You can, there's Google it, everything. But this is a recipe that I found, and I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. And I'll put a link to where I found the recipe for. It's actually for some pizza or pepperoni rolls or pizza rolls, you want to call it. It doesn't have any sauce in them, but I kind of tweaked it a little bit and made it more what I think works. Anyway, so it's a fathead dough for pizza crust, and what we're going to need is some, it's got almond flour. You need 3/4 cups of that. You need a teaspoon of xanthan gum, 1 egg. You need 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Sorry about you need a 1.5 cups of grated mozzarella cheese. And you need a pizza pan, some kind of pan with parchment, lined with parchment paper, because the stuff will stick to the pan if you don't, even not non-stick. And I think that's it. So let's get started. So we're going to measure out the ingredients, and I've already measured out the tablespoon of cream cheese. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put our almond flour, 3/4 cup. You don't want to pack it in there, just loosely, 3/4 cup eyeballed. Alright. Now for the xanthan gum. And first, I don't know what this actually does. It's supposed to make it a little bit more pliable. I don't know, but it seems to do it. I used to put yeast, a package of yeast, but stuff don't actually rise, so I don't know why we had the yeast in there. Okay, so we got that ingredients. Now, something I forgot to add. You can put whatever flavoring you want in seasoning, like Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, I don't know, just whatever you want in there. So what I'm going to use is some garlic salt. Be right back. All right, I got my garlic salt. And I just I mean, I don't know how much to use. Teaspoon, half a teaspoon, whatever. That looks about right. So you want to mix that all together. Now with the egg, you can break it up, beat it in a cup or something. You can put it straight in there. I'm just going to get a plastic cup. I've done it both ways, where I beat it, mix it up real good, and I've done it and just put it in there. So get it really good. Mixing. Put that in there. Another thing to have handy is a good spatula. Good Rubbermaid something rubber spatula. And mix that up. You can use a fork too. I use a fork a lot of times. And then once you get it kind of crumbly like this, you might as well just go ahead and get your hands involved. Wash your hands and get them involved. Or wear gloves. Food gloves. Anyway. Just make sure all the almond flour is really good incorporated in the xanthan gum. That's a weird name. Xanthan. Who come up with that? Maybe somebody named Xanthan. I don't know. Anyway. So all that's incorporated, it feels like. Sorry about the camera. I don't have the greatest of camera holders. I had a tripod. The thing blew over in the wind and broke. So I've made my own. I've got some PVC and a selfie stick in the PVC with some spray foam that I put it in there. I don't know if you can't see it from here. I'll show it later. Anyway, so that's good mix. We got a little ball going. And you want to wash your hands. That stuff, you don't want to blend it with anything else because it's really slickery. So anyway, all right, I'm going to measure out the 1.5 cups of cheese. Oops. I guess some almond flour. You want to rinse off unless you have another one, spatula. And I got 2 different bowls because you're going to microwave. You might have to microwave both of them. So you want maybe 2 glass microwavable bowls or rubber, whatever the silicone bowls are. And again, this is not packed in there. It's just loosely grated, and you just want to fill up to 1.5 cups. This is actually 1.5 cups measured cup instead of 1 cup and then 1/2 cup. Anyway, found it at Walmart. So, like I said, not packed in there or nothing. So that's probably right there. Garnish. Anyway, okay. So 1.5 cups. And what you're going to do is you're going to microwave this for about probably total 1.5 minutes. You want to start out with 30-second intervals and mix it up real good with the cream cheese until it's almost a liquid, I guess. Pretty fluidy. So I'll show you that in a minute. So probably your first minute of microwaving it looks like this. All right, and I'm going to microwave it a little bit longer. This stuff is stringy. All right, so a little bit after 1.5 minutes, that looks about right. If we have to, we can go a little bit longer, but that's probably it. So you want to put this in the bowl. My wife gets mad at me when I make this pizza because this cheese does not want to come out. Soak it a little while. Might have to use some scrubbers, lots of soap. Anyway, so get as much as we can out of this bowl. And see, it starts to cool fast, so it gets really stringy. But I think that's good enough. Da-da-da-da. All right. Sure, why not? Okay, so you want to mix this with the dough ball, and look, see how it's gotten hard all already. It's stiff. Okay, so it's starting to, get cooled off, so we probably need to microwave a little bit, 20-30 seconds more. What I like to do first is kind of mix up the dough to make the dough, form the dough, whatever you want to call it, with my hands. If you've got a stand mixer that's got the dough hooks or something, you might want to. So this is very warm, so you be careful. It could be extremely hot. Cheese gets really hot in the microwave. So, all right. So I'm gonna microwave this just a little bit longer, just like that. All right, and then I probably about 15 seconds. But you start to where the cheese starts really blending in with the almond flour mixture there, where it's like a yellow color, light yellow. Anyway, so it looks like it's really good mixed. So that's what you want, is it really blended together really good. And I just do this with my hands till we form a good looking dough right here. Smooth dough. Now, if it's a little sticky, you might want to wet your hands. I've seen that on, but the oils in the cheese, if you have this mixed right, kind of prevent your hands from sticking. But I mean, it can be sticky. I've had some. Okay, so move this bowl out of the way. Get some of our stuffage gone. And some cheese. Alright, so we get the pizza pan here. And all we want to do, and like I said, hopefully I put this in the first of the video, 425 preheated oven. You want the bottom oven rack. So put the rack on the bottom. And then all you're going to do is just press this out. You can roll it if you want. I just like to press. It takes longer, more fun. Form a circle. This will make like a 10 to 12 inch pizza dough, depending on how thin you want it. And of course, the thinner it is, the faster it'll cook and get crispy. And this dough, to me, if you get it too crispy, it tastes a little odd. So I'm just doing it. I don't want a thin crust pizza, but I don't want a thick crust pizza. So somewhere in the middle of that kind of structure, nice and round. I've seen other recipes where this dough is really sticky and gooey and gunk. You need it. It's got to be consistency more like this. This more like a regular actual dough. It is. So excuse my little bit of mess. So once you get it formed to the thickness you want, or fill up you want, this will probably be good. And hopefully I speeded it up through all that mushing. You can make you a little crust if you want, a little raised crust, you know, like that. But I think that's about the thickness I'm going to get it. I don't want it too thin, like I said. And then you need to take a fork and poke some holes in it, because it'll probably puff up even with the fork holes, because this dough kind of grows together in the oven because of the cheese melting. And so you can see where the cheese is starting to harden in it. It's in there. At least I think that's what that is. Okay, so now you want to cook it in the oven. Cook it. Anyway, you want to cook it in the oven for probably about, I don't know, 6 minutes. You don't want to crispy it. You just want it to where it's no longer where it's going to come apart. You just want it so that you can I don't know. You just don't want to cook it all the way in the oven. And then once you have that done, you can let it cool if you want. You can store it in the refrigerator. You can top it and cook it right. But I'll show you, okay? So I'll show you what it looks like after about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, this is after about 5 minutes in the oven. It starts to look like this. I mean, it's soft. So, probably go another few minutes. So, it's not quite ready yet. It's still pretty mushy. So we're gonna microwave. We're gonna put it in the oven for a few more minutes. Okay, so after a few more minutes, we've cooked it. It's starting to kind of get some brown spots on it. That's about, and what you wanted to look for when you lift up the pizza, whether or not it's still kind of sticky and gooey. And you want to be careful, you don't want to tear it. So the reason why you want to cook it just, I want to say it's like pasta, like al dente. So where it's not crunchy yet, it's not brown yet, you just want to cook it to where, because what happens if you cook it too long and then you put your toppings on there, the pizza crust will be really dark before your ingredients are cooked. You know, the cheese is melted all the way and your pepperonis are cooked. I don't know about you, but I like my pepperonis a little bit done. I mean, they're already cooked, but you know what I mean. They're not like where they're just put on there cold. But so that's why you want to do that. So that when you cook your toppings, you want to cook it for about, I don't know, around 10 minutes maybe. At the most, you got to watch it. If it starts to really turn really dark, you might want to come out. So it's not going to be it's not going to be like crispy like a normal thin crust pizza, but it's going to be, I don't know, I think it's pretty good. So you can, like I said, let this cool off, stick it in your refrigerator in a big plastic bag if you've got one, something, wrap it in plastic, cover it, whatever. And then you can use it later. So I'm not going to use it right now. I am going to wait till dinner. And I just wanted to, it's like lunchtime right now. So, I mean, probably not when you're watching this, but unless you get hungry, you want to watch recipes on YouTube. But okay, got our pizza all made up and ready to go in the oven. Probably cook it for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. You want to go from there? All right, doesn't that look yummy? Mmm. Look at there. That's what the underside looks like. Looks like a regular piece of pizza. Little floppy, but you could cook it longer maybe. But I like it like that. So here we go. Let me. Oh, it's hot. Tastes good.